Hey wild ones, this is Sarah from Sarah Lucky Wild here from the Costa Rica rainforest. One photograph, one wild moment, one truth the jungle whispered. Let's go. Hey wild ones, Sarah here, hiking up a mountain river in Costa Rica where the water tumbles over boulders and every bend feels like a secret waiting to be discovered. Today's story is about the wild orchids, those delicate, resilient jewels that grow on trees and rocks all over the jungle if you're willing to slow down and really look. A few mornings ago, I decided to skip the main trail and walk the river instead. Most people don't bother. The rocks are slippery, the water is cool, and it's easy to stay on the wider path. But I love it. The river is filled with pools, boulders, and pockets of green that most hikers will never see. I was picking my own way over wet stones, camera in my backpack, when I looked up and there it was, a tiny orchid blooming right out of a tree trunk, its petals glowing like they'd been painted by the jungle itself. I stopped, crouched low on a rock, and just stared. The orchid was growing straight out of the bark, no soil, no fuss, just pure determination. These wild orchids are incredible survivors. They don't need rich dirt. They pull what they need from the air, the rain, and tiny bits of debris that collect in the crevices of trees. Some are so small you could miss them with every step, yet they bloom with colors that stop you cold. The longer I stayed, the more I noticed. Another orchid tucked behind a waterfall mist. A Jesus lizard sunbathing on a sun-warmed boulder, looking like a tiny dinosaur that decided to take a nap. Iridescent bugs flashing blue and green as they darted between rocks. Every few feet, the river rewarded me with something new. A flash of color, a tiny movement, a moment that felt like the jungle was saying, "You looked, good for you." As a photographer, these river walks are both a challenge and a gift. The light bounces off the water in unpredictable ways. The rocks are super slippery, and if you're balancing while trying to frame something delicate, that could disappear with one breeze. But when you get the shot, the orchid glowing against the dark, wet bark, the lizard perfectly still, it feels like the jungle handed you a private postcard. These wild orchids have become my favorite symbol of resilience here. They don't ask for perfect conditions. They don't wait for someone to plant them. They just show up, attach themselves to whatever is available, and bloom anyway. Watching them reminded me how much we can learn from that quiet strength. How to root ourselves in whatever ground we're given and still find a way to open up and shine. If this episode stirred something in you, maybe a reminder to look a little closer at the ordinary places in your own life. Send me a comment. I read them all, and the ones that make me pause and smile might just inspire the next story. And if you're loving these moments, make sure to follow the podcast and follow along on Instagram, X, and TikTok at Sarah Lucky Wild for the daily glimpses behind the lens. Or head to sarahluckywild.com for prints and more so you can bring the jungle home. Thank you for being here. Pura Vida, wild ones. Let's meet back here for the next hidden bloom.